On my dad's side of the family, the males produce a lot more LDL cholesterol in our bodies. So my dad passed away of a heart attack while he was running when he was about in the early 40s. His dad passed away with a heart attack, and also my uncle, his brother. So I was actually like in my mid-30s, and I was on a run. I was running, and I had a heart attack while I was running. I don't remember it at all. I woke up 2 days. I came to 2 days later after they had done surgery and put stents through the artery kind of thing. So
other people tell you about it.
Yeah, everyone was telling me about it.
Who found you?
It was a student of mine at St. Louis, gave me CPR. The dad was on the phone with the paramedics. They kept me alive until the paramedics came.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah, and the story that was really touching was that dad and son together, their mother, they had to give her CPR one night, and they weren't able to bring her back. So the two of them together tried to save their mom, but they couldn't. And
before you?
Yes, this is like a few years before me.
So now they're
then they're on their way back, and then they saw me and they saved me, and they were able to save me together.
Wow. So it's just like a genetic, like it's just in your makeup to have that, because obviously you're like in great shape and running on that night. So you weren't just eating Cheetos on a couch.
Sometimes.
Lokahi Backstage.
Mm-hmm.
Welcome to Lokahi Backstage. We are in Hawaii Kai, not the forest of Borneo.
It totally looks like a jungle in Thailand, but we are still here in Hawaii Kai, yes. And special guest today.
We have Brett today.
Yes.
And I'm so excited.
Or a stage name, Biku.
It's a nickname that derived from my last name, Shimabuku.
Oh, okay. Yeah, that makes sense.
It's like kind of long for everyone to say. So people just started calling me Biku.
Oh.
Yeah.
More like in Colorado, when I lived in Colorado, and that kind of came back with me to Hawaii.
Oh.
Yeah. What is that? Shimabuku. That's Okinawa?
Okinawan.
Ooh. Let me see. Look at this. See, that's how you know.
Okay, wait.
That's how you know, bro.
Only I feel like only people in Hawaii feel that there's a difference between Japanese and Okinawan, because everyone else is like, I don't know, what's your understanding? Because people always say it's the same. It's Japanese. And I'm like, no, it's different.
Yeah, I mean,
it's the Islander lifestyle.
Right. Like, but is there a little tension? Is there like, no, I'm Okinawan, get it right? Or is it like, Japanese Okinawan kind of the same? Or like, how do you feel?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's specifically Okinawan versus Japanese.
Yeah.
But isn't Okinawan Japanese?
Okinawa is off of Japan. Mm-hmm.
Right, like if you say like, hey man, you're from Hawaii, like get it right. Kauai, brah. Kauai.
So is that the difference? But then Japan's all islands, so like Honshu, Kyushu, right?
Right,
like
right.
so it'd be like, no, I'm from Hokkaido.
Right. Or like, are you American if you're from Guam? It's like kind of like territory. I don't know. Anyway, but yeah.
I don't know.
And then what's the other half?
Caucasian. English.
I love how
Irish,
like the
German,
poor white
I think.
people, they don't get the breakdown, right? It's like,
No.
look, it's white.
It's all mixed.
So what box do you check?
Like right in the middle between the boxes.
Yeah. That's official. That's what
I make
happens.
my own box.
I love it.
Okay, so basically, like we were mentioning earlier, Lokahi Backstage is like we're trying to capture stories to inspire other people. And, you're a successful musician. And I met you, our story goes back to where like I actually met his sister first when I was hosting my first TV show on public television. I was like 17. And I was hosting a talent show, kind of like a mini American Idol. You know what I mean? Kind of. It was like, so you host like talent, and Jaina was 10 years old when I first met her. And I don't even know who this is. I was like reading the script. I'm like, okay, coming up next, big old voice in a tiny little body. Jaina Shimabuku. She came out and she sang this. I don't even remember what song it is. I don't know if you remember. But it was one of these like Whitney Houston, like this little tiny girl, booming voice. So cute. I wish I could get the tape. It's somewhere in my garage, actually. I got to find it on a VHS somewhere.
Wow.
Anyway. And then I met you like backstage.
Older brother.
Yeah, older brother. I was just like, oh, what's up? And he just always like was the coolest, nicest human being, that I ever met. Like seriously, this guy, that's just right off the bat. I got to brag about him. When you were doing these stories, like we got to get Biku to tell his story because it's just, amazing what he's been through to get to where he's at, playing music all over this town.
So you grew up in the islands.
Yeah.
So native to Hawaii, born
Yeah,
and raised.
Born and raised on Oahu. Yep.
And what part of
University
Oahu?
Lab School
Oh, okay.
graduate. Yep.
All right. And then, but
you
went
did-
away to college because you got to get your name right, Biku, from somewhere.
Yep. Yeah, I was in Colorado. My friends were just butchering my last name, and then one of them just started calling me Biku all the time, and everyone just started calling me Biku after that.
Yeah, that makes sense though. Yeah,
I couldn't stop it. I was just like, okay, whatever.
No, totally. I was Mats,
Yeah.
for most of my
Yeah,
life. Mats,
that's right.
because it's easier than Matsumoto, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Or Matsuboto when I was a
Oh,
kid
gosh.
too.
Yeah, that's a whole other
Yeah, when
thing.
you're a kid.
Not everybody's going to know what that is.
Don't Google it. It's buy one, take one. Buy one, take one. That's all it means. So, okay, yeah. And then, we could all go all the way back. Like, did you already know from a kid time, just like your sister Jana, you knew music is the way? Like, from the very beginning, how were you thinking about it?
I mean, started off with ukulele lessons at Roy Sakuma
Ooh,
Studio.
I did that too. Did you do that?
I didn't, but
I
that's
did it.
where Jake Shimabukuro came from. Another Shimabuku, but Bukuro. And then even, what's it, Taimane, right? No. Was Taimane
Yeah.
Roy? I think so, yeah.
I mean, with
And
Jake, right? And
Yeah, basically all the best ukulele players came
Yeah.
from Roy, right?
Yeah, he has like 4 different schools
Right, right.
all over the island,
Wow.
right?
Okay, so it started, how old were you
Kamiki Studio.
when you were?
Yeah, I was like, 5. I think I was probably like 5 or 6.
Wow.
Just taking
Wow.
ukulele lessons. My sister was the first one who started wanting to do it, and
Yeah.
she was like younger than me, so she was probably like 4 or so, maybe, I think.
Wow.
Yeah, young.
And were your parents were they musically, is the family house?
My mom used to play music, and her dad was a trumpet player for the Shriners Band in
Yeah.
California.
Yeah, see, it's in the genes, brah. Right?
Mm-hmm.
You can't help, but
Yeah, my first experience that really got me excited about music was seeing a concert. First
What concert?
in particular was Pearl Jam at
I was at that concert.
Andrews Amphitheater.
Amphitheater
Yeah.
UH. Oh my
That
God.
was with the 10 album tour. Yep.
Oh my God. No, seriously, because I remember it so well because they only had one song out at the time. You remember what song? The first hit?
Alive?
Alive.
Or Jeremy? Or,
No, it was Alive.
first.
Jeremy didn't
Yeah.
come out yet, right? So I knew Alive.
The whole album was like amazing. Yeah.
But I only knew that one song, but if I didn't, I was working for the radio, so I got free tickets. I didn't think much. I just like, okay, I heard the one song, I like it, but since I got tickets, I'll go. So like, I'm totally disrespectful. Like the concert's about to start, and I'm just going to get, hey, Leia, relax. Sorry. Those are my dogs. Yeah. Anyway, but I didn't think much of it, right? I was just kind of like,
Whatever.
Yeah, whatever.
Gotta go.
So I'm in the line having beer, like, just kind of like, standing in line at the concession stand, and out of nowhere, I hear Eddie Vedder singing a cappella, and it was the song Release Me.
Okay, release.
And Pearl Jam, I mean, Eddie Vedder just starts singing like, a cappella, which is so not what I expected, right? I just thought they're going to come out and just play rock and roll, right? He's just like, I don't know the words, but you know how Eddie Vedder sings. Nobody can understand what he's saying. And it just filled the amphitheater and everybody stopped what they're doing. And he just, it's like the sound went from, all loud conversation, whoosh.
Wow.
And I literally didn't get the beer. I got out of line. I was like, I got to get back to my seat.
I gotta listen to
Yeah, and then you know how it starts, right? And then pretty soon, and like lazily, the bass player comes out, the drummer comes out, and the song starts to like, and then they start playing full on. And that's a slow ballad, but then he starts screaming, right? He starts getting, it's like such it's such a build, right?
Yeah.
I mean, that's such a good choice because that totally, I felt that.
You were there,
yeah, I felt that. Wow.
Yeah, it was such a great concert venue, the amphitheater, in Andrews Amphitheater. And, they were just doing whatever and their music was just so powerful, so much energy. And I was only 13 at the time.
Wow.
So
Wow.
I was able to, that was like my first day. My parents let me go to it. One of my buddies, like, they let us go. They dropped us off and picked us up later. And then like right after that, shortly after that, we started to go to more concerts. That was like, was it Golden Voice, the Big Melee? Was it? The Big Melee that they did that? Yeah. One of the concerts that really got me was I really liked the band Blind Melon. and Blind Melon.
The Bumblebee Girl.
And Porno for Pyros played. Perry Farrell.
Perry Farrell, who ended up being in another band.
Jane's Addiction.
Jane's Addiction. Jane's Addiction.
Yeah, they're not doing so good.
Yeah. Oh my God. Just like a couple months ago, they went viral for like beefing in a concert.
No.
Yeah.
And think about it. They're doing a reunion concert. They're all like 60 something years old.
No.
So imagine like getting and now it's everything goes viral, right?
Yeah.
So then did you immediately start like start a band and start to play that kind of how did you?
I just started really getting more into writing music. That's when I first started writing it, because I started to be like, I like what they're doing and how they were able to capture their own emotions and put it out and transfer it and get me excited about it. I used to remember all the lyrics, even though Eddie Vedder was mumbling them. I still remembered the words, I could sing along to it today,
Yeah, wow.
I was just thinking about some of the Blind Melon songs and he's been dead. I mean, he's passed away.
Yeah.
Like when I was 16, I think. Yeah.
Wow. I only remember the one song. What is the one song? Their most famous song?
Oh yeah. No Rain. No Rain.
Yeah.
So when you went to college, did you study music?
I actually just always took music lessons. So when I went to college, I didn't study music because I didn't think that was like
A career?
Yeah.
So what did you go to school for? What was your actual degree?
It actually was natural resource recreation and tourism.
So with that, you were looking to be in what? Like how do you use that?
I just kind of was doing it because of business classes that I wanted to take, and then also too just living in growing up in Hawaii.
So tourism.
So it's like
I mean, and in a sense, right? You're playing music now in Waikiki. I mean, literally, like serving.
With the tourists.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah.
Right. So it all comes full circle.
I'm right in there.
Yeah, totally. Wow. Okay, so you come back from college, and then what do you start doing when you came back to Hawaii?
I started teaching music still. I just kind of tried to build up a new clientele, teaching music lessons, guitar lessons, piano lessons, bass lessons, ukulele lessons. Some of the students that I was working with went to school at Le Jardin Academy, and they invited me. They needed a band teacher just for a year period. So I was like, okay, band. And then eventually I got invited to be a band teacher at St. Louis High School. So I was a band teacher there for 7 years, running the whole program. The whole time I was also teaching. I mean, I was also doing like the original music. So I was still like only doing original music, my own music. I would see other people writing their own music and I would like their music too. And so I did a music showcase there called The Rising Melody. And it was just like an original, just kind of a showcase where showcasing solo artists. And then solo artists became like more bands, because I knew a lot of bands that were also, they write their own music and they perform their own music. So
it was huge. And every
Ryan
band,
and Kay Aloha,
we hosted some of them. Yeah.
I invited them to, they were so good on the mic. So they were the hosts together.
Oh,
that was a
okay.
good one.
Oh my goodness. It was packed. I mean, I took some photos too. We got I remember that. I'll show some photos right about now, but this packed, houses. And in fact, this was the same, Level 4 was the same place that Bruno Mars had a concert when he only had one song out too. That was his Pearl Jam concert here, but packed again, and just as much as you're packing.
It was right around the same time actually, because I remember they were like, this guy Bruno Mars is going to be playing,
and you had to
and I was like, who's Bruno Mars? And then I looked him up,
Roosevelt High School.
I never heard of him before. That was right when he was coming out, or to me at least.
Yeah, his first song was Nothing on You. Right. Yeah. And you knew he was just starting because his sister was in the video as one of the video girls. He's like, hey, I got a budget, bro. I gotta use everybody. You know what I mean? But I mean, that first single, obviously went, the rest is history after that song. But I remember him having that. Yeah, right in between your stuff, we had to stop because Bruno had a concert. He only had one song out though. But yeah. Mm-hmm. Who else played in Rising Melody? Didn't you have Johnny Helm?
Johnny Hum was one of the performers at that Level 4.
Thunderstorm Artiste?
He had a band. Thunderstorm entered a contest that we held at Downbeat Lounge.
And he just won
in 2017 and
third place at American Idol, or fourth?
He was awesome, but he came in second in the contest.
Oh my goodness!
Yeah, he was amazing though.
He placed in The Voice though, and American. I mean, high on both. I don't know exactly. We can Google it, but I mean, he's so awesome there. Yeah. So literally, these guys were rising, and you were catching some of these artists, as they were coming out. So it was an amazing. I mean, that was an amazing run. I don't know how long did Rising Melody go.
I don't know, probably like 2003 to 2017.
Wow.
Just having music around helps, helps me because that's what the form of what it is that I do, it's it changes all the time, but it's always consistently music.
I was telling Jamie a little about the struggles you had when you were a band teacher, and obviously you love music and you love, teaching, but being a teacher in a 9 to 5, you know what I mean, is not the same as wanting to. And even we talked to Johnny Helm, it's like there's a singer-songwriter that you want to play your music. You want to, you know what I mean? So talk a little bit about that struggle of we all need a job, but at the same time, balancing that. What was that like?
It was tricky because I'm not really a strict crack the whip person, but you have to be that to be a band teacher. So I learned a lot about.
You gotta be a babysitter. Is what you gotta be. Yeah.
I mean,
in fact,
from early in the morning too. That's the thing. Is the job is it's an early morning. I'd have to be there right at the beginning of the day, like all the other teachers.
Dude, I brought him and one of his most famous music students in the entire world, Tua Tagovailoa, who was the quarterback of the Miami Dolphins. And I remember him coming. He played the tuba, yeah?
Yeah, he played the tuba. He was a good piano player, too.
Oh, my gosh, that's so funny.
So then, sweet, nice Brett, but, you got to deal with some St. Louis football players. And Tua's the sweetest guy ever, so
I knew him from when he was in 8th grade, so I saw him grow up. He was like a munchkin. And
when he came in, he was still kind of skinny. But, of course, obviously, now he's like, But I mean, it's a little bit. These are some of the things you have to juggle. And where in your heart, you're just like, can I just play my own music?
Yeah. All those showcases, although we had a really good time doing it, and it was very growing for everybody, it wasn't really like a consistent money making thing. It's always like a risk. Right now, I just play music in the hotels, so island style music that a lot of the people that grew up here know, that makes you feel like you're here. I don't use backing tracks. I just put it all and make it all on the spot when I'm performing. So it creates that more live.
Yeah, so, you can make a beat and then the beat goes and loops. Then you'll make a bass and then that'll loop.
Wow.
So you're basically like a sushi chef or something. You're making the music live.
You take things out, put it back in.
Well, sometimes I'll accompany him on drums. That's why. So we've done some.
We have a group together too. Yeah, playing music with your friends is always way better, and especially with this guy.
Yeah. So we love it. It's so good fun. Yeah, we have a good time. And I mean, I don't know if you want to talk about it because I'm the editor, so don't worry. If you don't want to talk about it, we don't have to. But I know you have one of the greatest comeback stories that when I tell about people,
heart attack.
Yeah.
So my family, on my dad's side of the family, the males produce a lot more LDL cholesterol in our bodies. So my dad passed away of a heart attack while he was running, when he was about in the early 40s. His dad passed away with a heart attack, and also my uncle, his brother. So I was actually in my mid-30s, and I was on a run. I was running, and I had a heart attack while I was running.
Did you have any prior knowledge of that?
I knew that my cholesterol was high, and at the time
at 35.
I was on medications, and then I ran out of medications, and I stopped taking them, and then I just kind of was like, I feel fine, like I don't need to do this, and then that wasn't the case.
Yeah.
I wasn't even going to doctors at that time too, really. So it was my own kind of like, I wasn't really paying attention to that, and it was the worst thing I could do. But I got lucky with still being here. It was about 10 years ago, actually.
Do you actually have recollection of that all happen? Like, I don't know how that plays out. Like while you're running, you're like,
I don't remember it at all. I woke up 2 days. I came to 2 days later after they had done surgery and put stents into my not cut open, but like through the artery kind of thing. So
other people tell you about it.
Yeah, everyone was telling me about it.
Who found you?
This is a crazy story.
It's like, I'm like, what?
Watch this. Go.
So the people that found me were was a student of mine at St. Louis when I was still.
Wow.
So they're like, well, the person that saved your life, he's a senior at a high school, and we wanted to recognize him and the paramedics that save you, the first responders. And so I was like, okay, yeah, totally. I'll go. Can you go to their school assembly? And I was fine. So I was like, yeah, I'll go. What school? And they're like, oh, St. Louis. And I was like, that's where I work.
So at the time was when you worked there?
Yeah. So the senior that and his dad were coming home from baseball practice that night, and they saw me in the middle of the road, and they stopped, and the boy gave me CPR. The dad was on the phone with the paramedics, or with the 911, and they kept me alive until the paramedics came.
Oh my gosh, that is crazy.
And I had taught the boy. His name is Matt Ornelas. I taught him ukulele lessons or ukulele class at St. Louis when he was an 8th grader. So he was a senior. So I hadn't seen him in a while, but I see him on I would see him on campus. But he grew, growing up from 8th grade to senior. I when I saw him again, I was like, oh, that's right. I remember you. You're like the kind of shy guy that was, always smiling, good energy. But now he's a grown, young man, and he saved my life.
Oh my gosh.
Wow.
Yeah,
And then what was your
Did
connection?
he remember you?
Yeah. Well, once they all knew who I was, but at the time when they were being, they're just saving somebody.
spot.
They're just saving somebody's life. They
didn't
and
know
then
it was you.
And the story that was really touching was that the dad and son together their mother had they had to give her CPR one night, and they weren't able to bring her back. So the two of them together tried to save their mom, but they couldn't. And
Before
then,
you.
Yes, this is like a few years before me.
So now they're
then they're on their way back, and then they saw me and they saved me, and they were able to save me together. The two of them, So
I
it was
totally
like
forgot that part of the story. Oh my goodness. That's so
Think how
crazy.
How for them, they're like, oh no.
Yeah. Oh my
Jeez.
goodness.
Yeah.
So like the student was like doing the CPR, and he didn't recognize you until after.
Yeah,
like
they didn't
later.
know it was me until
Wow.
And then also to the ambulance, the
Paramedics.
We grew up. We were in high school together, and we would go surfing. And she was dating one of my really good friends, and we'd all hang out and go surfing. So I knew her too.
Wow.
So I mean, there's a lot of people on this island, but
But
That's
still,
how Hawaii.
I knew those people.
yeah.
I know those people that saved my life. I knew them.
But we talk about that, right? Hawaii is such a small
Yeah.
community. We hear this all the time, but it's still, even still, if it's Hawaii, it still sounds miraculous. It still
It
sounds
is.
like amazing.
And even the timing of
Yeah.
it all, right?
Wow.
Like just being there.
Wow. And then, like we're talking, so like you're telling you, so you're out for 2 days. You wake up, everybody's telling you what happened, and then it's like literally. I remember this. You tell me if I got it wrong though. 7 days later, you had a gig.
Yeah.
We're talking, so like heart attack. Wake up 2 days later, 5 days surgery. 5 days later, and then I go, Brett, what you doing tonight? He's getting out of the hospital. He's like, oh, I got a gig. I'm like, Brett, you can't. He's like, I'm be fine. So I brought my camera, and this is the video you're watching right now. I made this video. This is Brett 7 days after the heart attack with his sister Jana, and it was a beautiful. All the friends were there, and it was just a beautiful gig. And he sang and he played.
Wow.
7 days after the heart attack, it's just like, come on, let's just stop.
Yes, that is so awesome. That is so awesome.
Yeah, they thought the hospital people thought I was crazy to check out, because I checked out that day.
Yeah, literally. Wow, wow.
And so now you go to the doctors
Yes,
regularly.
yes, and I'm good. My blood work is good. I take a shot. It's Repatha. I take one every 2 weeks, and it lowered my LDL cholesterol like very, very good. So it's like in the double digits. It's not anything like what it used to be.
Wow. So it's just like a genetic, like it's just in your makeup to have that, because obviously you're like in great shape and running on that night. So you weren't just eating Cheetos on a
I mean,
Sometimes.
I wasn't like the picture of health, honestly.
I
was always having a good time.
But that
I could say
is
that I was having fun during that time.
and that is an interesting because we talked about this before. That it's an interesting paradox of like your post heart attack, right? And now you got medicine, you got stents. A part of you is just like life is short.
Yeah.
YOLO. Like
Yeah, it's a
Cheetos,
dream.
let's go.
It's a dream. This is a
But-
dream. We're in a stream right now.
Right, but at the same time, I gotta be careful, and because so what is that like juggling the like to make sure you don't have too much YOLO?
I mean, it's just purpose. I think just wanting to be here alive with the people that, like you guys that are my friends, my family, just being grateful for everything.
So you don't have to think about like when you're running or surfing or working out. Is that in the back of your head like, hey, don't go too crazy, or is that something that you think about?
Well, I do go to the doctor and my numbers are good.
So
I check in and make sure that but I don't have any kind of physical thing that makes me feel like. But even before then, I didn't know either.
You didn't feel it.
But my numbers were bad.
Right, that's different.
And I wasn't even looking at them.
Yeah, that's different. Okay.
Yeah.
wow. So how did you look at life coming out of that? Did that like shake you?
It's like an unbelievable thing just the whole thing, the story. It was very much like a whoa. I wouldn't be able to write that in a book, like my own story that happened. And I couldn't believe it. So it was definitely felt like a miracle, that I'm still here.
Totally.
And so I was just wanting to, definitely made me want to be more aware of my health.
Yeah.
Because I really like being here.
Yeah. Yeah.
Even if while things are always changing, but it's just And then 1 year after that, about 3 years after that, then my sister passed away. She was my younger sister, and so that was another thing. Is like
Jaina, the one I met when I first met. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
So so we played music together. So we were actually actively working and gigging together and playing music together. So that our musical show was with the two of us, like a brother sister.
The sound is so good
combo.
together.
Wow. What is it? Can I ask about what?
How she passed away?
Yeah.
She ended up having an ulcer, and it they cauterized it, but then it opened up, and it happened when and I had to call the ambulance, but it was too late already.
Oh my God.
Yeah, so it's pretty tragic, It's just like that whole sad, just that hole that opens up. You get it's like a hole in the world. You look at it and it's like you see the world, and then
It's
there's
missing.
a hole, and it's just like an empty hole of nothing that used to be there. And then you can't really fix that. You can't replace. You can't to substitute what it was. So it's only time and acceptance really that can help. Having a purpose. Like I feel like music is definitely a purpose for me. I'm not sure it changes in the form. But I feel like that's my purpose. So like every day when I wake up, that's like one of the first thing that's in my mind is, what am I going to do with that? What am I going to do with that today? You can plan for the future. You can reflect on the past, but
Be present and be grateful in the present.
Yeah.
So true.
yeah.
So all I heard was that album dropping this year. Okay. That's what I heard. Biku's coming out with new
It's coming
music.
out.
That's what I heard.
Yeah.
That's what's gonna happen. Yep, that's it.
Nice.
I'm ready for it actually
I
because
think it sounds like
it's evolving
it.
into. I have music. It's just about how to do it and record it and make it. And now all the technology's there. So.
Yeah. Oh, definitely. So many. We've been talking about like playing with new, software and technology, but it's a fun time to get back into, picking up some of that original music again. I definitely vote for Celebrate Yourself. That's one of my favorite songs that he wrote. And he ended that set, when that 7 days after he got out of the hospital. And it's just such an anthem. I think I told him I want to do that song in as many different languages as we can do it. It's just such a, you know what I mean? Tina knows, oh my God, it's such a feel good, great song. But I know you got a bunch more like that in you to bring to the world. So it's like, we can't wait. You know, I mean, all this whole story you're talking about, right? All that stuff, is going to end up in your music, you know, and the world needs to hear it, you know?
I think sounds like you're just on that brink of like breaking right into this stuff. I think it's also in taking risks. Like you don't know what it looks like. And the thing is, I always feel with life and opportunities, you can never plan them. No, there's no way. And the thing is, I don't think you'll ever know the doors till you walk into that next room. You just won't know the doors, but you have to walk into that next room. And then suddenly you're like, oh, there's 3 doors, but you're not going to know the next door till you walk into the next room. And then you see 3 more doors. So you back it out. If you just stood at the front of the house, you have no idea the journey that it's going to take you on. And I think that you have all the combinations right there of the passion, the talent, and it's all a matter of just taking that step to jump into that. And I think the world, I feel that this is what this is all about, is when we lean into our passion and we take that. It's so scary, right? Because you have to throw that vulnerability out there versus, I hate to say it, but like if you stick with the job that every day, Monday through Friday, you know what you do. Every year you go do this, whatever, perform on stage at Ward Center. You know what I mean? You kind of know the routine. You get good at it. There's not a risk, right? You're 10 years later, you're doing the same thing. But when I think if there's something that God's created you to do and something boils in you and you're created differently than everyone else, although you talk about all these people who have music in their life, you're not them. You're not Johnny Helm. You're not Ryan, right? But there's something different about you and your stories, right? Obviously, there's personal journeys that you've taken. There's only something that is so you, and there's something that you're supposed to spin into the world. And it's not just, it's for you, but more than anything, it's for everyone else. And I think that's where it gives back to you, if that makes sense. It's more for others, but then it's also your journey too. And it feels so authentic and real because it is you. It's your story. It's who you are. It's what you're made for. It's not made for what he's made for or I made for, but it's yours. It's your journey.
Yeah, your analogy.
Well said,
the analogy you guys are both talking about how, like, you know, you don't get to know, you just got to take that step. You remember the kind, Indiana Jones tree, The Last Crusade. That was one of the tricks, bro. He got to the end. You know, every Indiana Jones, right? You got to like, oh, where's the next clue? And then you got to go, oh, watch out the rolling rock. And you got to duck. And then the skulls fall out. And then there's cockroaches. You remember? All kinds of stuff. And he gets to the end. And in order to get to the final goal, there was no bridge there. It was like edge of a cliff. And then like the clue was like, take a first step. And the bridge will find you, or whatever. It was something like that. And then you're standing at the edge of this cliff, and you don't see the bridge; it's not there. But he's looking at the clue, and he's like, it's like the climax of the movie. This is the whole point, right? And then he takes the first step, and then literally a magical stone appears, right? And then the next step, and the next step, and that was the whole thing. And then but that's kind of what you have to. I mean, it's what you've already done to get here. To be honest, right? I mean, like
what we all have done to get this far.
Exactly. No, you did too. We got to get to your story too, but it's similar. It's very similar.
But
taking that step.
It's challenged to the next level, right? It gets challenged to the next level.
And then does it ever go away? That feeling of like,
faith.
No.
Yeah.
I think if you want to live a life, right? Versus this is the one thing is I see so many folks out there, and this is actually the heart of the podcast, right? Or why I'm an engineer. So I am super happy behind a computer typing and not talking to any human being. Like that is where I exist and I am like in my comfort zone. So why do I get on a camera and start talking to people in a backyard? Like it's because I'm really passionate because I see that there's so many folks out there who don't even go on that journey. They step back, they take that safe journey, but there's so much boiling inside of them that I know they were made for so much more. They have these unique talents or relationships or experiences in life. And I know and they kind of come to you like, how do you do what you do? Or how does your life have all these things in it? And it's like, they want to, and it's really, my goal of the podcast is to encourage folks like, take the step, like take the moment, you got to do that. Like you got to take the moment to live at that. Indiana Jones didn't turn around, right? But I think I run, or the people I'm around, a lot of folks are the folks who are like, that, no, that's not safe. There's not I got, life is good. We're, I should be happy where I'm at. Let's turn around. This is the right thing to do, right? And then we all go, yeah, that's the right thing to do. Don't do that. That's crazy. And you got friends who's kind of telling you that, like, life is good. Like, stay, you're, you got kids, you got your husband, like, your job's good.
Because a lot of times they're projecting their own fear on you. Like, let's come on. If you go, then that's gonna like put a flashlight in my face that I'm like not doing mine.
So turn around, because I've done that. I turn around. So turn around, and it works out good.
Stay comfortable with me.
Yeah, it works good.
It'll make me feel better about not doing my thing.
But I think that's part of it, is like taking that step, right? And I think that it's scary, and I think it's the harder part of life. But I think that's the magic of what we've been created to do. And to me, and I'm in my 50s, right? So I only feel like I've come across that now. Like I see people who come across that when they're 20 and they live their whole life that way. And like, man, I'm jealous of those folks. But again, you can't look backward. You can be grateful where you're at, whether you're 70, right? Is finding that and knowing you've laid it all out. At the end of the journey, you're like, you know what? I've been there. I've done that. I tried. I put it all out there, and I gave it my all. Right? I don't know. I think that's what it's all
your
about.
Accumulated experience is all right up here right now, and it's your whole life is led up to this moment. So
for what
you doing right? Exactly. So there shouldn't be any fear. It's
you know what's hilarious? You're pretty much saying the "Celebrate Yourself" lyrics. You have to recite it now because it's literally the same. What is it? Right? Let's go through it. Celebrate yourself. Your experience is your wealth.
Yes.
Come on.
This life was meant for you. The world was meant to see. So celebrate yourself. That's a chorus.
Oh my gosh. That should be like the theme song.
That's my point. It's like you're talking. I'm like, I'm hearing the lyrics of my favorite song of his. Yeah.
It's so true.
That's it.
Yeah. You're standing at a moment.
Yeah. It's good. I mean, that's just a good way to think of things, because if you think like, because of age, or it's not only, it's like our life is still going. I mean,
Martha Stewart, they say, like, didn't even start being the Martha Stewart that you know today till like 50 something or whatever. She started in like her
crazy
50s.
too. Yeah.
And like she's in her 70s, I think now or whatever. And it's like, and there's so many folks out there that their journey keeps on going. And I think that's what we're supposed to be. But it's weird. I think in America, I always say America because that's all I ever know because I didn't grow up anywhere else, is like we think like the ultimate in life is to, I don't know, reach retirement and then relax and chill.
Right.
But I seem to believe that there's a journey that you're created for more than that. And whether doesn't mean you have to be in the working environment, and you could call it retirement, but I think there's always a port where you are put on earth for as long as you're here, for however many days you have, if it's 85 years old or 92 years old. There is a purpose and a reason, and there's something you're moving forward. And honestly, it's what you're supposed to give and what the world needs to receive from you. So I believe it's so deep rooted in purpose.
When I found out that he had a heart attack and he was in the hospital, in those 2 days,
horrifying.
I was at the time smoking a lot of cigarettes. This was just where I was at in life. So I was at the hospital, outside the hospital, and I'm just like super stressed, super anxious.
Sure.
My friends, he's like hanging on. And I told myself, like, oh, if Brett makes it out of this,
oh no,
he's not gonna be drinking and smoke. It's gonna be we're gonna have to like go clean. We're gonna have to like care about like. So I'm sitting outside the hospital going, okay, this is the last pack. This is the last pack. And I remember smoking an entire pack, waiting for him. Like, and I almost to the point where I was sick. I was just like, because I was like stressed. But I made that promise to myself, and when he came out, that was my last cigarette.
And
I never had a cigarette since then.
He used to always smoke.
Yeah.
He used to, he used to always smoke. Like,
Trust me.
He was all like every picture that I image in my head when we're hanging out back then was like, there's a cigarettes involved.
Totally.
And he I couldn't believe it either, actually. And it's still right now. I'm so glad, actually, that you made that
I
decision.
know. So I'm not saying thank you for almost dying so that I could stop it. But thank you. Well, mostly thank you for coming back and bringing, because my gosh, I mean, the world needs you. We love you. We love your music. We love who you are. And that's just one small thing that I'm grateful for, but I remember that time. And what a huge impact you've made on my life, the whole time.
Yeah, our bodies are temple, It's good to have a good time, but at the same time, is a sacrifice? I mean, is it worth the sacrifices of, hurting your body?
Yeah, I want to be here for all your albums, so I'm gonna keep watching. Make sure there's not too much YOLO.
The best highs are what you work for, I think.
Yep.
Again, that's what age brings you, is that you realize that the best highs are from like what you work for, and you see it, and it came to fruition.
Yes.
Yep.
You had a phrase that you were working on. What is it? Visual.
Vision to reality is the new high. That's the all the other highs in life, but that one's like the number one. It's like constantly making things, whatever vision that you have. It could be the smallest thing to your big pictured stuff, but like slowly
make it real.
Yes.
I love it.
Yeah.
That's so awesome.
Lokahi Backstage, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah.
Right on. Thanks for having me, guys.
Awesome. Yes.
Where can we find you? Social media?
Biku, Biku Music.
Okay, at Biku Music. And then you can also go to your website too, right?
Yep. Bikumusic.com.
Okay. Okay.
All right.
Another awesome one in the books.
Woohoo!
All right.
Lokahi Backstage.
Okay, so we're just trying to make people happy. We're just trying to be happy ourselves. Yeah. So let's just make things good.
Happiness is the answer. Okay.
So celebrate yourself, 'cause your experience is your wealth. 'Cause this life was meant for you, and this world is meant to see. So celebrate yourself. Take this moment now, right where you are. Think about your breathing, it's as strong and deep. But the life that's in your fingers, the life that's in your feet, the beating of your heart is the universe's speech. So listen.